All right, let's do this. The reason why you are so overwhelmed with trying to drive traffic to your website, get your message out about your brand, just marketing in general, is particularly because of this thing I call the marketing iceberg. Hey, my name's Russell, and I'm the founder of the Marketing Plan Formula, and I work with lots of business owners every single day with their marketing. And this is one of the most common problems that I hear day in and day out. So I thought I'd just take a quick second, explain this idea of the marketing iceberg to you, and hopefully it'll make your life and job and business easier and more successful. So the idea is that most business owners and marketing professionals, they see this concept, or what we all love to call, the shiny squirrels, particularly in today's world. We are drowning in marketing opportunities. Let's take one that I hear the most frequent, which is this idea of a content strategy. Most business owners go out there and they start their website and they think they have to start creating a blog or content. And the reason they do this is, well, I don't know, because everyone else does it and it's just kind of the easiest thing. And hopefully Google will pick up your website and start sending you free traffic and, free customers. Problem is that's not how it works. So let me try and explain this in about 2 minutes. And rather than me verbally just ramble on, let me jump over to my iPad and I'm going to draw a picture for you that will make this crystal clear. Okay, so the problem that we have is that you're overwhelmed with choosing between marketing strategies. How do you drive traffic? And then how do you manage all this stuff? And the crux of the problem is this thing called the marketing iceberg. So we were talking about a content strategy, or SEO, that we're all pretty familiar with, right? So we want to build this content. And if we build the content, then maybe Google will pick us up, your website up, and then all of a sudden you start getting this thing called free traffic. It's all very appealing. Every single business owner I've ever worked with probably has gone down this route. But let's look at what happens here and where the iceberg comes in. So this is my handy dandy little iceberg here. And at the top we go and we say, it's not hard. We create 1 or 2 blog posts per month, right? 1 or 2 posts, not a big deal. But then all of a sudden we're like, okay, wait a minute. I got to do the research and I got to really write something of value. I just don't want to fill the web with, more clutter. That's the big problem today is there's, hundreds of millions of blog posts and pages published on a daily basis, and Google has to get through that clutter. So now all of a sudden you're saying, wait a minute, this has to be, all of a sudden now we're under the water and we're going, wait a minute, this has to be good content. It has to look good. And, I got to then get my web guy to put it up on the site. And then all of a sudden I realized, wait a minute, I just published this blog post, but no one knows it's there. So now all of a sudden I have this new job called promotion, right? I got to email this out to my list. I got to share it on all the socials. I got to get the message out that I just spent all this time and money making this blog post. And then all of a sudden I'm thinking to myself, well, shoot, what am I going to write next? What is the next best content? And Google picking up my blog posts, well, then all of a sudden, I want to start paying attention to keywords in my industry. All of a sudden, now I need this keyword strategy. And so now I'm hiring people to do keyword research for me, and I'm starting to structure my pages around keywords. They read funny. It doesn't really read right for the readers of your blogs. It's another strategy. But then all of a sudden, I start looking at, on page, how many keywords on per page? Are they in the headline? All of a sudden, am I using schema? And I discovered this thing called technical SEO, right? And so now I'm looking at my pages and I'm starting to configure things like table of contents boxes. How's my headline? How's my meta tags? All this other stuff. And then all of a sudden, because of that, now all of a sudden I have to buy all these SEO tools for my business that monitor this and that tell me if my page is structured right or not right. And then now I'm starting to get up into the SERPs, and all of a sudden I'm starting to get traffic, but I'm starting to realize, shoot, how am I going to get to those top 3 positions in order to start getting the bulk of the traffic? Because as we all know, if you're not in the top 3 of the SERPs, you're not going to get any clicks. Now, all of a sudden, I have to start thinking about, well, what is the main factor for SEO? And that is backlinks, right? That's how Google knows that your page is a good page and of value, so it can show it to people searching for it. So now all of a sudden I have this backlink strategy and I have to go hire people to go, get me backlinks to these particular pages. Yet another task I have to put on my plate. And then finally, all of a sudden, what I didn't anticipate at the very beginning is it's not just about the content on my site, but is that content actually creating leads? And so now I'm looking at, well, what is my, conversions on those pages? What are my opt-ins, which leads to an email strategy and yada, yada, yada. So this is, in a nutshell, what the marketing iceberg is. And this is exactly what I help people do. So if you're interested in hearing more about how to solve this iceberg problem, and it's not just for SEO, it's every single marketing strategy out there, whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, trade shows, direct mail, you name it, they are all icebergs. And you need to have a clear map to get you through this iceberg minefield. And so, yeah, I hope that helps. It's kind of this is the first one. I'm going to do a bunch more. I get these questions every day. Hope it was valuable. Would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And come visit me at marketingplanformula.com. Thanks.